Let's take a look at Logic ES1's filter section, the part of the instrument that really gives it the most character. We've got a cutoff control as we would expect, and we've also got a resonance control down here. But what's a little bit different is we have 4 different types of filters that we can choose from. If you take a look at the manual, it gives a little bit more information on what the design of each is intended to do. The 24 dB classic mode is one that sounds a lot like a Moog ladder filter, and when you increase the resonance you will notice that there's a bit of a loss in the low frequency content, again that mimics what happens with the old Moog design. So here's a little example. Now by contrast, let me go to the 24 dB fat filter, which is a little bit more like an Oberheim type design where we have a similar quality to the Moog, but we don't lose the low frequencies. Clearly they each have a distinctive sound, but there's a noticeable difference in low frequency, for better or worse depending on the circumstances where you're using the instrument. The low frequency content is much more prominent with the Oberheim than it is on the Moog. The 12 dB filter is also an Oberheim style filter that's reminiscent of some of the earlier instruments like the SEM. Let's take a listen to that. The first thing we'll notice is that being only 12 dB per octave, there's less attenuation of high frequencies as we bring the cutoff filter down. In other words, it extends higher, it doesn't cut off quite so quickly. Bring that back up. And then the last one we have here is an 18 dB filter, which was designed to mimic the Roland TB303. Now where these get really interesting is when you start shaping that cutoff position with your envelope, for example. So I'm going to tell the modulation down here that I want to have control over the sustain level of the cutoff position. So I've selected cutoff here and I've set my intensity, and I've got a very short attack, a longer decay, a very low sustain level, and then a bit of a release as the sound is released. Let's hear what this does. Bring down the sustain even lower. You get the idea.